going to show you guys how to put on a grip today, or at least how I do it. So I'm putting on a replacement grip, and I took off the original grip that was on this racket. And you're supposed to actually start with the thin end, but I'm going to start with the thicker end. That's just what I like to do to make it a little bit thicker at the bottom of my grip. So you just start, you put a little bit of pressure, and you want to wrap it around once. And I'm wrapping to the right. Okay, I'm wrapping to the right because I'm right-handed. If I was left-handed, I would go the other way. And now once I've wrapped it around the grip once, then I start to angle it, and I keep a little bit of tension. Depending on how thick your hand is, or personal preference depends on how much tension you put on the grip when you're doing it and how much you're overlapping the grip. If I overlap this a lot, then it would be thicker, but I don't want it too thick, so I try to not overlap it too much, just a little bit, and then I try to keep a bit of tension. And I think the more times you do this, then the amount of tension, you kind of learn how much tension to put on it and how thick you like your grip. But you can always check early on just to make sure it's the right thickness. And then you just kind of keep that same angle and the same amount of overlap going until you get to the top. Some people keep going once they get up here. I just generally just cut it off because I won't hold my racket really any higher than there. So I'll just use some scissors and cut that off. And then at the top, I would just use some electrical tape. I find it sticks better than what comes on the racket or in the grip. So you just wrap it around, and then you're done. So I've had a lot of people, obviously at the club and over the years, ask me how to, or if I could grip the racket, but I always try to show them. Maybe I'll start it for them and then let them go. It's a pretty simple thing to do, but obviously having the right thickness of grip and having a nice grip on there makes a big difference in squash. So I thought I would teach you guys, if you didn't already know how to do it, how I like to do it. And obviously the direction you go for some people maybe doesn't make a big difference, but for me, my fingers kind of slide in at the same angle of my grip. So I really do like to go this direction for myself personally. It would feel pretty weird if I was left-handed and this would go against the grain of the grip on the back of my fingers. So that's why I like to do it like this. And yeah, just make sure you don't use an over grip as the main grip for the replacement grip. The over grips are going to be very thin and not absorb a lot of sweat. That's something you would put over top of these grips, and they wouldn't last very long. So the replacement grips last a lot longer, and I find that usually one would last me, depending if I'm only using that one racket, probably for maybe 2 months, depending on the type of grip. Usually Caracal iRackets has decent grips too, and I think that's pretty much about it for grips. So I hope that helps some of you learn how to put the grips on.